Now, a few of you might have possibly seen a video of someone who compiled all of Mazepin's on-track meetings with other drivers. But today we will ask the question, was he really at fault? Oh yeah, and since I collected a few new clips like the Kubica incident, that will be here as well. To start off, I want to keep the original order, so if you want to see my professional verdict to something like the Hamilton incident, press the according timestamp in the description. Oh yeah, and while you are down there, you should really press the big red subscribe. Now Latifi is the first victim of the Mazinator. So this happened during the Portuguese GP qualifying. Latifi assumes it's because he accidentally blocked Mazepin in the second to last corner during the session. Judging by the radio of Mazepin's engineer, however, it was probably an accident since Mazepin couldn't be aware of how close Latifi was.
Box at the end of this lap, box at the end of this lap, Latifi behind starting a push. Watch for Latifi pushing, then Ocon and Hamilton and Alonso all pushing, so Latifi close behind pushing.
Maybe he did it on purpose, but it just seems to be a bit unlucky for Latifi. Now on to George Russell.
What the fuck was he doing? Is he a fucking prick or what?
As a few of you already could tell, the radio is from the Bottas crash in Imola, and the video is just some random practice lap where Russell and Mazepin were close on track. So this one is faked.
Fact. See you later.
Mazepin himself is the next one up. On to Mick Schumacher.
What the fuck was that, honestly? Seriously? Does he want to kill us?
Now here I can only repeat Mick's words. What the fuck was his plan? Okay, he wants to beat his teammate, but trying to scare him into a wall at top speed on one of the longest straights? No, fuck that. Definitely guilty for Mazepin. By the way, just so you know, he didn't receive any penalty for this move. Moving on, Antonio Giovinazzi.
What Mazepin is doing? What Mazepin is doing, honestly?
First of all, why is Gio angry? Drivers in F1 are said to have the gentleman's agreement to queue up politely behind each other, so everyone has their fair shot at a quali lap. Is there a rule against overtaking before or during a flying lap? Not really, and it seems like time was pretty close for Mazepin. So before being polite, comes to try to get a fast lap in qualifying. Gio is understandably angry, but Mazepin is not really at fault, I would say. Next one is the Iceman.
These fucking idiots, people.
Yeah, I was Mazepin.
Nikita or his engineer were pretty much sleeping and could have not impeded Räikkönen if they showed a bit more awareness. Now for Tsunoda, we actually have a new clip. In the old F2 clip, Mazepin's frustration was about to send the sign into Tsunoda, but in this new one...
What the fuck?
He did the same shit he did to Mick. And you could argue that it's hard racing or whatever, but this stuff is just dangerous. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering if he did it on purpose, just look on his onboard. You can clearly see him easing up the steering lock towards the left side to push Tsunoda into the wall. Oh, and by the way, Tsunoda made it past him in the next lap.
Who is this fucking bastard? Can't let me pass. Ah, putain. Yeah, in Monaco he needs to open the eyes for fuck's sake.
Gasly's audio is about Giovinazzi and not Mazepin in Monaco. So here's another faked one.
Fact.
But you have to admit, the rage is pretty funny. For Carlos Sainz, I'll just show you a clip from the official F1 channel.
Instead of finishing the lap and getting out of the way, he needs to turn one in front of you. This guy.
Sainz, what's he doing, man? He f***ed my lap and then expects me to help him.
So to summarize, both of them squabble a bit, but there's nothing major happening, so on to Leclerc.
Mazepin will never change.
Leclerc is annoyed because Mazepin didn't get out of the way fast enough, but it was just a practice session, so it wasn't a problem. For Alonso, next up is Ocon, whose clip was faked as well.
I'm out, guys. That's it. Fucking hell. Fuck!
I mean, this one is pretty obvious, since if a Haas could be blamed, it's the Haas in front, and that's obviously not Mazepin. For Sebastian Vettel, we also got a new clip. In the original clip he was blocked in Monaco, which was in the race under a blue flag scenario, but in this new one...
So there is a chance Mazepin doesn't pit, so definitely keep him behind. You can do a good break now into 19. Räikkönen currently 3 seconds ahead. Giovinazzi is gone.
Since Mazepin recently did a flying lap, Vettel's engineer assumes he will pit this lap. As you can see, he doesn't, but it's well within his right. But then he does this.
What a dickhead!
dickhead. I mean, seriously, what a dickhead.
Copy that. Try and finish the lap. It's looking good.
So instead of queuing up behind Vettel, Mazepin drove past him and then blocked him in the first sector of the track.
Half a second. Man.
Yeah, he barges past on the outlap and then makes a mistake in turn 1, aborts his
Yeah.
lap and just sits there.
Yeah.
So Vettel's engineer assumes it's because he made a mistake into turn 1, but if we have a sneaky look on board with Mazepin...
So all the cars around you on outlap, so they will start time trap next.
So the first thing he gets told is that all the cars around him are going to start a flying lap. So now you could maybe argue, just maybe, he tries not to impede Vettel, but then there wouldn't be a reason to overtake him in the second to last corner. Especially since he knew Vettel was starting a flying lap. So for me it seems to be intentionally impeding Vettel. Anyway, now on to Stroll.
Fucking Mazepin has no fucking idea what he's doing.
What has happened? We need to know!
Ricciardo's the next one.
Someone hit me. Is that who I think it was?
Yes.
The clip that was used for Ricciardo was done in a super high-end software simulation that can even emulate driver radios. So basically it's as good as a real-life incident. Mazepin 100% shoved Ricciardo into the wall, which is absolutely appalling. On to Norris. Now this clip could be seen similar to the Gio incident, but crucially to this clip
Okay, Lando, we saw what happened.
is the information that Lando was in a flying lap and obviously impeded by Mazepin. Stewards thought the same and gave Mazepin a 3-place grid penalty. Mazepin's incident with Sergio Pérez was pretty much a Stroll moment in terms of awareness, and the stewards penalized him accordingly.
Oh, these bloody idiots.
Next clip. At first you can compare the Verstappen incident to Latifi's, but this time Mazepin had all the time in the world to let Verstappen by and just didn't.
Unbelievable this. He just stays up front and I'm breathing even.
Bottas' radio footage was funnily enough
What a fucking cunt.
from his incident with Russell in Imola. This basically implies they have a similar faked clip. One difference for the keen-eyed though is the helmet. It's actually Hamilton's, so Bottas wasn't even in his own clip. The final clip is about Hamilton. Hamilton was concerned about dirty air since he was still fighting pretty hard for the win.
Reflex.
Copy.
Reflex.
But Mazepin did nothing wrong. The blue flags worked fine, this was just Mercedes getting impatient while they are fighting for the win.
Michael, blue flags. Michael, this guy makes us lose the position.
But now comes the clip you all have been waiting for.
Away we go, and Hamilton does get away very well indeed. And there's Lando Norris touched and into each
Mazepin annoying the 21st driver on the 20 driver grid. Here it is.
What the fuck, I have... Who was this? Mazepin.
That
Best
was
for one.
Yeah, Mazepin, yeah. Well,
What the fuck Mazepin was doing?
I know, it's his specialty.
So to conclude all these clips now and answer the question at the beginning, was Mazepin really at fault? The answer is yes, most of the time. There are a few clips that are faked, there are a few clips where people got annoyed but Mazepin couldn't do anything about it, and there are a few clips where he purposely impeded other drivers. So in conclusion, don't drive like Mazepin.